sleet. Pray that it doesn't turn to rain. It's cold here in Oklahoma, guys. We've got definite rain coming in tonight and tomorrow morning that is going to make our roads awful. Pray for everybody that's out in it. You guys can see all the animals are tucked away in their shelters, even the chickens. As you guys can see, the girls are all tucked away in the shelter. I love the barn cameras, y'all. I love them. I can see that the ice bucket looks to be frozen, so I will be going up. I will be going up in just a little bit to check on them. Make sure they have plenty of water. Everything's doing well. Nothing's come up yet, which I don't expect it to. It's only been a few days. But then guess what I found, guys? I forgot I had bought more seeds. And I wanted to try out the Cherokee Purple. So I am going to be planting, probably 6 of these. I know that I won't have a problem gifting them. I know Teresa over at Twin Bridge Farms always has room for another tomato plant. My mother, I'm sure, will take one. Christy will take one. I've got a niece that probably will take one. Who's going to pass up tomato plants? But we, of course, are in the house today because I will go up here in just a little bit and make sure everybody's got water that's not frozen. But that's going to be the extent of me being out and about. Of course, when we're in the house and we're stuck because it's cold, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to bake. Jeff loves baked goods, and today I thought I would bake some bread. Now, this is a recipe given to me by my grandmother. I remember, and it was her mother's recipe, so my great-grandmother's recipe. I remember as a child going to Grandma's for bread, just to have bread rolls. It was a big deal in the family, so I am excited to have gotten that recipe and been able to continue the tradition. This is a simple recipe, and I've actually seen it before, and I just think it's what the old timers, especially during the Depression, they used, because you didn't need many ingredients. But it's just a wonderful recipe that I thought I would share with you guys today. Okay, this bread recipe is super simple, guys. I typically don't measure, but for today's video I will attempt to measure and give you guys kind of a estimate on how how this goes. Anyways, I'm going to start out with 2 cups of lukewarm water. You do not want your water to be too hot. Just lukewarm is fine. And I buy my yeast by the bulk, in 1 pound bulk, and then I just keep it in the fridge. It'll last for a year. And to that I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of active dry yeast. And I'm going to just take a little whisk and give it just a little bit of a stir, just to make sure that all the yeast gets in there. The one place that I differ from my grandmother is her recipe called for a 1/4 cup of oil. I use butter. Today we're using goat butter, and you just want it to be softened, and I'm going to add that. And And this I didn't measure just because I am me, but it basically would be a 1/4 cup and a teaspoon of salt. And that's it, guys. That is the bread. And now I'm going to put a paddle on. And to that, I am going to add about 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And what I am looking for is, turn it on, and what I'm looking for is for it to be like a cake batter consistency. Maybe just a little bit more flour, maybe 2.5 cups of flour. Again, I typically don't measure, so you guys are going through this with me. And that's about the consistency I want it. And once it's mixed up, you're going to increase the speed of your mixer. And I am going to beat this for 3 minutes. Guys, I forgot. We're also going to add sugar. My bad, I forgot about the sugar. So let's get it going again. I'm going to let it incorporate, and I'm going to start my 3-minute timer now. So, 3 minutes. Walk away. Let it go for 3 minutes, guys. I know it may sound weird, but this is something that I do personally, and I have noticed a huge difference in the quality and consistency of my bread. So walk away, let it go for 3 minutes. Okay, it's been 3 minutes. Okay, after your 3 minutes are up, you're going to take out the paddle, scrape off all that wonderful goodness. And we're going to replace it with a dough hook. Lift that back up. Okay, and we added 2.5 cups of flour, so now we're going to add to that. There's 1, 2. I'm going to start off with 3 and see where that puts us. Again, guys, I'm not used to measuring. I do this by look these days, not by measuring, so we're going to do this together. So now we're going to mix this until we get a dough form that doesn't stick to the sides. I'm going to just check it. What I'm looking for is a dough that is a little tacky, but not one that won't stick to me. I think I got it, guys, on the first try, seriously. Now we're going to come over to a nice clean surface. As you can see, I have not put any flour down. I don't need it. And this, guys, believe it or not, is my most favorite part. There is just something satisfying about kneading bread. It is the most satisfying thing for me. And I am just going to knead this by hand and by feel. You can hear it. It is a little tacky, but it is not sticking to anything. And that is the consistency you want. And I'm looking for a stiff dough. And I can do that by feel. Where I'm getting, some resistance, and it's a little bit harder to knead, that is what I am looking for. And, we're there, because my arm is getting sore. I start it in the KitchenAid, and I finish it by hand. And that's it. Now I'm going to take my bowl, and I'm going to take a little bit of spray oil, and I'm going to spray my bowl, and I'm going to put my bread down into the bowl, and just take a sheet of wax paper and cover it. Alright, so this has risen for a little over an hour, and what I am going to do is I'm just going to roll it. Let me see if you guys can see how I do that. I'm just rolling it, kneading it until it's relatively a stiff dough. And I'm just going to do this for a few minutes, and it's already stiffened up rather nicely. And we are going to let this rise for another 30 to 45 minutes. And we will check back with you. Alright guys, it has been about a half an hour and my bread has risen. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to punch that down again and make sure that I've got a nice stiff dough to work with. So easy. This is probably the easiest bread recipe that I have ever tried. So now I have a nice elastic stiff dough, and I'm going to do a couple things with this. I'm going to do some dinner rolls, and I'm going to do a loaf bread. So I'm going to take it in half, move this pan out of the way, and let's do the dinner rolls first. And the way I'm going to do those is I'm going to take my dough and I'm just going to squeeze out a roll. Everybody does them differently, but I'm just going to make a nice little circle there. And I might have gotten too big of a pan here. that's okay. And we're just going to make nice, I don't know, golf ball size. And I'm not going to squeeze them too close together because I'm going to let them have room to rise. And I have a very little piece, and so I'm going to take this bigger one and I'm going to redo it and put these together and get a nice piece. So there's 12 dinner rolls, guys. And now I'm going to set this back and I'm going to let this rise. I'll cover it with some parchment paper, and let's get going on our bread. Okay, so for the loaf bread, all I'm going to do is, notice I have not floured my board. I don't need to. This is not, if your dough is done right, it's not going to stick, you guys. Again, working on a clean surface. I'm just going to roughly roll this out a little bit. I have found if I don't put any flour down, it actually rolls out easier because it will adhere somewhat to the countertop, but it won't stick. I can lift it and move it as I need to. Okay. Now I'm going to take some of my goat butter that I have hoarded and saved on, and I'm just going to put some on here, and it is still a little bit cold, but it's okay. I don't need it to be melted or anything. And I'm just going to kind of spread it around without picking it up and making a mess out of it. Get all that yummy goodness off of there. So I just spread it around. If you guys have been to the grocery store, you were as shocked as I was with the price of butter. $8.67 for 2 pounds. I don't even know. Anyways, so I've spread some butter around. I'm going to take Grandma's Secret spice, cinnamon and sugar, and I'm just going to liberally sprinkle that. No, we're not making cinnamon rolls, guys. This is bread. This is cinnamon bread. Honestly, it is. I promise. And we're just going to roll this up. Just roll it up, guys. Roll it, roll it. Seal it up. I've taken my pan and I have sprayed it with Pam, and so I'm going to seal these edges. And I'm just going to make a nice little roll here. Put that in. And we're going to set this back to rise. Alright, so we're going to take our parchment paper and just cover our doughs. And that's it, guys. We're going to let that go for an hour, hour and a half. It's a little chilly today, so it may take it a little bit longer. Okay, those are going to go in the oven at 350 degrees. I'm not real sure on the amount of time it takes to cook them. I've never timed it, but I will time it for you guys, and I'll let you guys know how long it takes to cook. But I will see you when we pull them out of the oven. All right, 30 minutes, guys. This took 30 minutes to bake. Dinner rolls are wonderful. The house smells really good. And the cinnamon bread. Now, I did cinnamon bread. You guys, you don't have to put the cinnamon in it. Just do your bread and just make plain bread if that's what you want. Jeff's getting dinner rolls tonight because he's eating leftovers, and so I try and spice it up a little bit and give him something a little special. But anyways, that is my bread recipe, guys. Simple, simple, easy. Anyone can do it. Hope you guys enjoyed spending a few hours with me in the kitchen today. If you don't mind, give us a like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. 6 days, guys. We are 6 days from our first 2 goats being due. Annie and Maggie are both due on the 6th of February. So time's ticking away. We're getting close. We'll catch you on the next video. Thank you for watching.